Is there something about females that you wanted to know but could never figure out? Are you struggling with relationships? Do you feel like you're being taken advantage of by the women in your life? Do you want to know how to leverage the playing field to your favor? Well, did you know that the female mind and the female psyche are mysterious and unexplored regions like the dark web of the internet? For this reason, men need a method of decrypting or hacking the manipulative psyche or dark web of the female mind. Once a man has a deep understanding of true female nature, he will then be able to hack her programming.
Access granted.
The purpose of this book is to help grown males evolve into men so that they can treat the women in their lives accordingly.
You win.
Yo, shout out Afi Kingdom, man.
Afi, what's good, yo? What's good, my G?
Shout out Super Chat, man. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, yo, Afi, I was supposed to be on Afi's stream last week, but I had some technical difficulties, man. Hopefully I get another shot, but shout out, my G. Yo, I do want to say something, RPC.
Go ahead, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the deal, man, on some real shit. Like, our age bracket, or, you know, just our culture, if you will, when we were growing up, we were looking up to older people for guidance. Right now, older people are looking to younger people for guidance. That shit is backwards. Not to say you can't learn from somebody young, because I listen to a lot of people, young and old, and I'm learning a lot. So, however, there has to be an order. You know what I'm saying? And there has to be boundaries for men as well, because men just want to try to stay relevant and do dumb shit that young niggas are doing. But these women are looking at them like, yo, you stupid. And I'm looking at these niggas like they're stupid. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? So there is, when like-minded men like us are somewhat alienated, because the majority of people around us are not about nothing. So again, if I'm successful in bringing these two worlds together, we'll be unstoppable.
Facts, man. And that's what we're doing, man. So with that being said, I want you to tap into real quick before we even get into some of your shirts. I want you to talk about man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I will say this. You know, my definition of man. You know, I paraphrase from somebody I used to watch on YouTube, Coach Red Pill. And over here, we know a man is a grown male who can control themselves, can control their emotions, set their emotions aside, and use logic and reason to get to the best outcome. So, with that being said, like the message that you send, like you say you want to start a network, like
right,
called M.A.N, and it's an acronym, M.A.N.
Correct.
People what M.A.N stands for, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and I love
absolutely.
what you're talking about. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. All right, so yeah, so again, so Alpha Villains is the first phase. M.A.N, which is M.A.N, which stands for Masculinity Awareness Network. You know, in simpler terms, I want it to be like a LinkedIn for men. You know, our goal, you know, pretty much is to provide resources for men to become better men. We want to let them know that they're not alone. You know, because let's face it, men are expected to be strong, solution-based, and, you know, the provider. But unfortunately, we're not given the proper tools and resources and context needed, you know, just to yield those favorable results. So, for instance, there's people listening to us, you know, your audience may not resonate with Coach EO's audience. They may not blend necessarily. So they may be able to take a nugget from you, nugget from EO, a nugget from Afi, a nugget from Modern Life Dating, a nugget from Young Men's Daily Red Pill, and combine it and be authentic, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for men to become authentic. And in order for them to be authentic, they have to take what we give them, or what you guys give them actually, and make it their own. And that takes time. That takes time, man, because, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. There's a lot of content out there, and it's hard to listen to all of you guys. I try to do my best, but there's times I rewind shit and take notes, but it takes time to develop that shit. Before you know it, then you're actually practicing what they're preaching. But I want to build a network. So the M.A.N network is the Masculinity Awareness Network. We want to get divorce lawyers in there. We want to get photographers, mortgage brokers, realtors, salespeople, image consultants, you know, craftsmen, every type of industry, so we can come together and have a forum, and that way we can network and build. Because again, we're stronger in numbers, and unfortunately, in the Manosphere, there's a corny beef going on right now, you know, with MGTOW and Pickup. We can all men, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And ultimately, because realistically, the people who supported me initially was two people from two different sides of the spectrum. It was Modern Life Dating and Young Men's Daily Red Pill. Two different guys, two different ideologies, but same goal. They want to improve men. So I'm hoping that, you know, this network can really put some things aside and we can kind of come together and focus on the goal, man, to make men better, or to at least help men become the best version of themselves. Men or males that are not coachable. And the reason they're not coachable is because they're not used to another man speaking to them. I could whisper some shit to a nigga with a deep voice and he'll feel some type of way about it. So if you didn't play any sports, you were not, or you didn't have any older siblings or any masculine energy around you, it's going to be hard for you to listen to another man. The only reason why the majority of these men listen to content creators like Red Pill content creators, for the most part, is because they want to get laid. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's why the content of those type of contents get the most views. But there's a lot of layers to the content creators that I listen to. I could tell. So I feel like if we place the focus on different things, you know, we can really kind of turn it around and make us a little bit more well-rounded. And I think that the best way to teach people is to teach them without letting them know that you're teaching them. That's why I wanted to take the strategy with the Instagram and the memes and all that shit, because people, if I come at them and I tell them, look, you got to do this, they're going to be looking at me like, yo, who is this guy? But if I go on the side and make them feel like they thought about it, it's more, you know, they'll take credit for something that they weren't doing, but they should be.
See? Hey, yo, before I continue, shout out to China White, man. You may not still be here, but China White, man, shout out to you. She said respect RPC, man.
Salute.
Thank you for dropping by. When I call myself the Red Pill chauvinist, I really have to emphasize. That's why I be saying in a lot of my videos, like when the Red Pill. First of all, chauvinist. People got to understand. Chauvinist doesn't mean hate. Chauvinist, for lack of a better term, is like a cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? Like an ecstatic supporter. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm an ecstatic supporter of the Red Pill mindset. Now, back into the Red Pill mindset. I agree, Steph is one. A lot of people do believe that the Red Pill content is about getting laid, about, you know, how to get a chick number and all that. But when I spit Red Pill content, I'm talking about not following society's narrative. Right. So I'm saying, like being able to have the gift of discernment, being able to see past the veil, past what's in front of you.
Smoke and mirrors.
You know what I'm saying? Smoke and mirrors, because this whole thing is smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because Red Pill. I mean, not to get not to speak on it too long, but Red Pill. You know what I'm saying? That stems from the Matrix movie. And you understand the Matrix movie, when the dude took the Red Pill, it was him, you know what I'm saying, seeing reality. It was him taking him out the Matrix, you know what I mean? And dude's got to realize too, in the movie The Matrix, when the dude took the Red Pill and he took himself out the Matrix, it wasn't an easy ride. It wasn't like it was smooth when he was just out the Matrix, like, oh, that's what's up, it's cool. Like, understand, when you take this Red Pill, it's like, first of all, you can't unsee what you see. That's number one. But number two, I mean, once you get that Red Pill and you out the Matrix, don't think it's an easy ride. That's why some people go through Red Pill rage and so on and so forth. But when it comes to the Red Pill mindset, when I speak of Red Pill, It's speaking about education system. It's speaking about politics. It's speaking about religion. It's speaking about, you know what I'm saying, relationships. It's speaking, and that relationship not just with females, relationships altogether. It's speaking about sociology. It's still speaking about psychology. You know what I mean? Like all these things, man. So people gotta becoming aware, man. Hold on, right here, boom. Oh, you here, China Wire? I appreciate you. I appreciate you, beautiful. That's what I'm talking about, man.
And you know what's crazy, to piggyback on what you said, RPC, relationships, for me, I had to mend a relationship with the most important person, which is myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still doing that. I still got some scars. You know what I mean? I made some mistakes. You got to forgive yourself. You know what I'm saying? And for me, and I think a lot of young men can maybe relate. I was chasing happiness. I put happiness before peace. And I know we're going to talk about that shirt. Happiness before peace. But I think in order to be happy, you first have to be at peace. You know what I'm saying? So right now I'm at peace. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily happy. I'm striving to get there every day.
Right.
But like you said, man, you can't unsee this shit. And it ruins a lot of relationships. It changes you, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. But when the community says do the work, it's not about, getting better looking or making money. It's about realistically getting your mind right. Because if your mind is right, the energy will be right, and then everything will fall into place. Because the thing is, sometimes people want to do shit, the easy shit, for instant gratification. But if you really just plant your seed and water it, and you know what I mean, and nurture it, you'll have a more sustainable life. You know what I mean? And that's important, bro, because I'm telling you, I was wilding, did all that shit, but there's a time and place. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I'm out the game, but you got to stay focused. And I say that to say to all these guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we all know female nature. We all know how to like maneuver these broads. They watching this content too. Let's not get it twisted. But if you're not whole inside, you're just going to be racing with them because they're going to know that you're trying to do this shit with the text game or the other shit. And it's just going to be a cycle. And we're just going to be laughing at you. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, AV, man, let me tell you something. When I started this YouTube thing, man, like I said, I was first thing I started with was talking about female nature. So, and off top, and I still say to this day, I'm not a dating coach and I'm not a relationship expert, right?
Me either.
But exactly. But what I realized is like every time I would try to give advice to somebody about females, when they would ask me a question about females, I realized like, the answer really comes down to you, fam. Like, you got to get yourself right. Because even if you ask me, what can I say to a chick? I could tell you to tell her this word for word, but is it gonna come out with the same energy? Is it gonna come out with the same tone? You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that dudes don't want to do, because another thing that I realized from doing this YouTube thing is that dudes would rather watch all these videos, you know what I'm saying, or watch all these quote unquote dating coaches and relationship experts. They're still not willing to do the work. They're still not willing to apply what they're listening to. You know what I mean? So let me say this. One thing that I looked up, because you know what I'm saying, I'm a thinking man, for lack of a better term. There's a difference between intelligence and intellect.
Right.
Intelligence is the ability, for lack of a better term, paraphrasing, but intelligence is the ability to acquire knowledge. Intellect, or to be intellectual, is the ability to apply the knowledge.
Right.
That's a big difference.
Absolutely.
That's the difference between someone who's book smart and somebody who is practical.
Precisely.
I mean, and can actually use what they're learning. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, when it comes to, masculinity, if not proving masculinity, and we're gonna get into these shirts, just not even proving masculinity, but masculinity in general. The problem is a lot of these boys, and we said it before, they don't have a role model. They don't have something to look at. Cause I've said it before, like, see, you said, your father wasn't necessarily in your life, but on the contrary, mine was. And what I would say about that is, my father never sat me down and gave me lessons and said this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. It was just for me just watching him and just observing and putting the pieces together. And something that you said, talk about putting the dots together. Like, I think that's something that a lot of dudes have a problem with, or have an issue with. A lot of young males have a problem with, is putting the dots together. Talk about how you put the dots together. What does that even mean?
Is there something about females that you wanted to know but could never figure out? Are you struggling with relationships? Do you feel like you're being taken advantage of by the women in your life? Do you want to know how to leverage the playing field to your favor? Well, did you know that the female mind and the female psyche are mysterious and unexplored regions like the dark web of the internet? For this reason, men need a method of decrypting or hacking the manipulative psyche or dark web of the female mind. Once a man has a deep understanding of true female nature, he will then be able to hack her programming.
Access granted.
The purpose of this book is to help grown males evolve into men so that they can treat the women in their lives accordingly.
You win.